Hello, welcome to this video on how to do your National 5 SQA Folio template. Few pointers to note. I'm making this video in March 2018, so it applies to the 2018 upload. If this video is found next year, the year after, the order in which you do things may change, so check with your teacher. So my name is Mr. McGovern. I'm making this for the students in Lenzie Academy to help them with their upload. So let's get started. In order to do your upload, the first thing is you need to get your essays in the right format. So I'm looking at some examples here. I have here two examples. So I've got Joe Blogg's personal reflective essay, Joe Blogg's persuasive essay. What you need to notice is two things. I've put a name in there. It's not obviously my name, just a sample name. But if I just put personal reflective essay or persuasive essay, and I hand that up to my teacher or email it to my teacher, that teacher has 29 other pupils in the class. The teacher's going to have to struggle to find whose essay it is. Going to have to open it, read it, find it. So put your name into the file names, please. It just makes everything a lot easier. Now, if we go over, and let me close that, sorry, for a moment. If I go over here and we look at the instructions. So preparation, what you need to do in advance of going to the computer room, or you could be doing this at home in your own house, wherever you're doing it. Check that your files are in Microsoft Word format. Okay, that's because the school computers need it to be in that format to open. If you use different Linux, or if you use an Apple, then you might need to convert it to .doc, whatever it is. So please have it in the Microsoft Word format. Make sure then you have access to copies of your essays. So you might have those two essays on a memory stick. You might email them to yourself, so they'll be in your sent emails or in your inbox, or you might upload them to OneDrive via Glow, which you can do at home or in school. But the main thing is that you have access to the digital copies, not the paper copies of both your essays. It's really, really important that you can access them when you go to the computer room. So what happens when you go to the computer room? How do you go about getting your essays onto the template? Well, you sit yourself down at the computer, you log on, and you go find your essays. In my case, as I showed you before, the essays are sitting in a file. So say I've got this on a pen drive and a key. I've got my two essays here, so I'm happy with them. That they're there. Then I go in and I need to find the template. Now, this is how you go about finding the template, in case you don't know. You go to the Lenzie Academy website. So if you're not sure how to get there, just go into Google or any search engine, type in Lenzie Academy. It should be the first thing that comes up. Web page looks a little bit like this. Across the top, you'll see some tabs. Go to the one that says Departments. It's got that kind of sign symbol at the top, road signs. So click on Departments. Then you'll see a list down the left hand side. You want to scroll down to English. This is English here. Click on English, and then there's a load of general kind of information about the department, but if you go down to the bottom, you'll see resources, and it says instructions for pupils. I'm not going to click on that because I already had it on the screen over there, and Folio template. Now if you click on that button, it'll download your Folio template. Click it there, give me the option. I have an option to save it, and it's a very, very small file. Now, I'm not going to bother saving it because I've already downloaded it, and I'll show you what it looks like when you open it. So on the left hand side here, my Folio template, there it is. It's very simple looking, but you must use it. The SQA demands that your essays, both of them, are sent on one single document. So even though you've done two essays, you got to put it into one document. So we'll go back to our instructions, see what our instructions tell us to do next. So if you follow the instructions, they'll keep you right. So open the template, which we've just done. You'll find it on the school website, which we've just done. Copy and paste both of your pieces into the same template. Now this is really important. It has to go in this order. You have to put your personal reflective piece first and your persuasive piece second. Now I'm going to have a look at my two example pieces now. So if I go down here, and is this my this is my personal reflective. So it's my personal reflective that has to go on first. Now, a couple of things to note here is my font size. If you look up here, it's font size 11. I immediately want to make that 12, right? Not 10, not 14, not anything else, 12. So highlight everything, make it size 12, easy peasy. Go up here. Now, also I have to remove my name because the essays are marked anonymously. So any copies of my name I take out straight away. I check, right, I've got a word count. There's my word count at the bottom. It doesn't matter if it goes on to another page like this. Don't feel like you have to squeeze it up onto the bottom of this page. It doesn't matter. Now, this is a problem though. here I have personal reflective essay. That's not a title, right? That's no good. Say I've written an essay about, I don't know, Duke of Edinburgh. Oh, this isn't an essay here. I've just copied some information off the website to fill up the page. Say I've written an essay about Duke of Edinburgh hike I did, maybe climbing Ben Lomond or something like that. I come up with a nice title, something that links into my essay, right? So I'm calling my essay Summit Fever. Now that stands out a lot more than personal reflective essay, which is just a generic name rather than a specific title. So now my essay's in the right font size, 12. It's got a title and it's got a word count at the bottom, and I've removed my name from it. So this essay is looking good to go. Now, a few things. Don't use weird fonts. So what font? Let me see. The template, I think, tells us what font to use. Let me see. Does it mention it there? No, I don't see it there, but I use something fairly straightforward. Times New Roman, Arial, Calibri, one of the straightforward ones. Don't use anything fancy for effect, please. Now, the next thing I do is I go back to my essay. I just copy it as it is, including the title, everything that's in there. I've got my right font. It's looking good to go. Right click, copy. Then I go into my template. And I have to make sure that cursor is flashing, if you can see it on the screen there. So there's a frame there. If you see the 4 corners, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I must click inside that frame. All right. If I'm not inside that frame, it won't flash. If I click back in there, now I can. So I go right click and paste. So I'm just going to do straightforward paste, which is, now you see the 2 different pastes here. This one here I'm not liking the look of because the paragraph spaces have gone missing. This one is keeping the original format. I'll show you what that looks like. If this happens and your paragraphs aren't very clear, just go in on the template and use the enter key to give yourself some paragraph spaces. Okay, and you put them in properly like that, so it looks better and it's clear where all the paragraphs are. Now I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back to where I was about to paste it, and I'll do right click, paste, and I'll keep my source formatting so it's exactly the same as it was on my copy. Another thing to avoid, just while we're at it, if I go back to this essay here, is this. Sometimes I see students who have their essays formatted in this way, where the left hand margin is all squiggly. See the way my cursor's going all kind of funny like that? Always left adjust, left align. Okay, so not right. Right looks weird as well. The middle doesn't work. It's always on the left, and it looks better. So now if I go back to my template, let's look if I can find it. There we are. Okay, so you'll notice there I only pasted into that top box, but it automatically created the extra pages I needed. I don't need to create extra pages. Okay, it also numbers the pages for me. I don't need to add those at all. Now I've only got one of my essays in there, so I need to move on to my second essay. So what I will do down here is I will open up, let me close this, we don't need that anymore. I'm going to open up my second essay to make this easier for you to see, which is my personal reflective. Now I'm going to pop it over here if I can. There we go. So on the right hand side I've got my word copy, which I brought in on my key, or I emailed to myself, or was on Glow. On the left side I have my template. So on my template I want to leave a few lines before I paste this one on. If I go back over here, let's have a look. Oh, persuasive essay, that's no good. Okay, let's say this one was about the sort of gun control in America or something like that. I'm going to change that to see no evil. Oh, see no evil, hear no evil. And that links into an argument I would have made about how politicians are kind of turning a blind eye to all the deaths in schools, you know, at the hands of crazed people with machine guns. So much better title. My font is still size 11, so I'm going to change my font up to size 12 because that's the font size we're looking for. I need, oh, that's not what I was looking to do. If I go down here, I need to, I've got my word count, but I've got my name in it there again at the bottom this time, Joe Blogs. I have to take that out. That's really important. I've got my bibliography at the bottom. So now I can copy and paste it across. So right click, copy. I go back into my template, which is here. I have it split. You don't have to have it split left and right like I do, but I just have it for the sake of the video. I skip a few lines so it's very clear that it's a new essay, and I paste it in again. Now, this time I'm going to keep my source formatting again. And you'll see now, if I go to the top of the template, you will see that I've got my first title. Now it's top left. Now if I want to put that into the middle, I can. The title I can push in the middle. Is that right? Might want to make it bold, make it stand out a little bit, but nothing more than that. Come down here. I'll do the same with the next title, make it stand out a little bit more. Bold, pop it in the center. So that's obvious, that's the start of my second essay. So both essays have a word count. Both essays have a title that links to the content of the essay. And my persuasive essay, as well as having a word count, has a bibliography at the end. All my page numbers are there. So in this case, mine comes to 5 out of 5 pages, but I'm missing one more thing, and that's my candidate number, and this is really important. I deleted my name off my essays because my essays, both these essays, will be sent to a teacher in Scotland, not from the school that I have been doing my work in. It could be sent to any part of Scotland at all, and it will be anonymously marked. So that's why my name is removed. But the SQA needs to know what essays have been sent where, so they use your Scottish candidate number. So this must be entered really carefully. You only have to enter it once on the first page. It'll automatically feed down to the rest. So I'm just going to make up a candidate number. Sorry, I struggled to get in there. I'll just show you what I did there. When I clicked in it, nothing happened. Okay, and I was kind of confused there for a second. But I double clicked because they're using as the header footer. So it's a footer. So I can now click into the box, and I make sure I've only got one digit in each box. So I'm going to make a number up here. Okay, let's make it really obvious. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 9, 9, 9, 9. Now you have to be really careful when you put your candidate number in. Check with your teacher. Your teacher will have a list that you've got the right candidate number. Once I double click out of there again now, so I'm finished, I'm happy, I've checked my candidate number, I'm 100% sure that that is my candidate number so that I will get the marks for this essay. I double click back up here, and if I scroll down, you will see that the candidate number is on every single page. Okay, so now what I will do here, just to make this even bigger, is I'm going to minimize this window, maximize this window. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I want it all on one page for you. There we go. Okay, so to recap, all right, my title looks good. I have no name on my essay. It's all within the frame. I've got very clear paragraphs. There's no doubt where my paragraph breaks are. On the left hand side, it's aligned, so nice straight lines down the left. I skip a line for a paragraph. My candidate number is at the bottom, and my page numbers are populated correctly. When I get to the end of my first essay, I've got a word count, nice and clear. And I leave a couple of lines, space, and I've got the title of my second essay, which is my persuasive essay. So it has to be personal first, followed by persuasive. Has to be in that order. You cannot do it the other way around. And I check down the bottom here. My candidate number's on every page. I've got my word count for my second essay, and I've got my bibliography at the bottom. Now, I save that somewhere, right? I save it and keep it on my key, email it to myself, somewhere that I've got a copy of it, and then in the computer room, in school, I print exactly what it is. I don't need colour. I don't need those links in colour. Black and white is absolutely fine. So I'll go up to the top here, I'll do File, I'll do Print, and I will bring that template with both my essays to my teacher, and it is then your teacher's responsibility to deliver that to the SQA, or the English department's responsibility to do that. So, final recap, if I minimize this, minimize everything there, and sorry, we'll go back to this. Check that you use Microsoft Word format, check that you have access yourself to both copies, digital copies of your essays, so a memory stick, email, OneDrive. Go to the website, the school website, to find the template. Make sure you copy and paste the essays in that order. Personal reflective piece first, followed by persuasive piece. Has to be in that order. You click inside the box to get it to work. Clear gap between the two. Nice title for each. Clear bibliography. Paragraph breaks are clear. Word count after each essay. Candidate number is added. Page numbers at the bottom will automatically update, and print your work. And that's basically it, guys. I hope you found this video useful. I made this video for National 5 candidates in the academic year 2017-18, so people who are sitting the exam in May 2018, so their folios are being put together in March. It may be that the process is the same next year, the year after, but if you're looking at this video in a couple of years' time, double check that nothing has changed. Also, if you're a higher candidate, the process is very similar. It's pretty much the same, so you could use this as the basis. I hope you found it useful. If you've got any questions, ask your teacher in class. But the main thing is be prepared when you get to the computer room. Okay, be prepared. Have your essays. If you have both your essays, final drafts on a memory stick, you'll be fine, and your teacher will be able to help you there. But if you arrive into the class and say, I don't know where my essays are, I've lost it, can't find it, there's very, very little we, the teachers, can do to help you. All right. Hopefully you'll do really well. The essays are going to get the fabulous marks you're hoping for. Very, very best of luck, and the best of luck in the exams in May.